To optimize our page load time, we have to tell the runtime what files we want to optimize. And we work with two types of files. We work with script files and style files, JS files and CSS files. And each type of file has an associated bundle class. There are script bundles and style bundles. So we build our bundles with the files that we want, and we register these bundles with a global bundle registration component known as the bundle table. The code on the screen is first constructing a new style bundle, and the constructor parameter, ~bundles/CSS, that's the virtual path that we can use to reach this bundle. In other words, if I add a style sheet link into my page with the href set to /bundles/CSS, what I'll get back is a single file that includes the contents of both styles.css and bootstrap.css in that order and in a single download. That's what bundling does. It concatenates files together in addition to other things that we'll see, but the concatenation reduces the number of downloads that we'll have. Just a single download to get both CSS files into the page. You can create bundles with one or more files using one or more calls to include, and include is rather clever. Include understands a wildcard, that's the asterisk, so if you want to bundle up all the files in the scripts directory that start with jQuery-1 you can do that by saying include ~script/jQuery-1 and the include, in addition to processing that wildcard to pick up multiple files, will also be smart enough to ignore certain files, typically files that we do want to be ignored. So let's say I've installed jQuery, and I have 3 jQuery files in my scripts directory. One is the uncompressed JS file, one is the minified jQuery file with .min in the name, and one is the Visual Studio documentation helper with .vsdoc in the name. The runtime is programmed to ignore the .min and the .vsdoc versions so that it only picks up the primary jQuery JS file, and I don't have jQuery duplicated in the download. Knowing what we know now, let's go configure the application. The first thing that I want to do in Visual Studio is configure the runtime so that bootstrap.css and styles.css can be downloaded in a single bundled file. And to do that, I'll need to add some configuration, and I'm going to add a class in the app start folder. I will call this class bundle config, and if you started a new MVC4 application from the internet template, you'd already have a bundle config in app start that has some configuration. Since we started from the empty template, there's nothing there. That's okay, we'll just add one. I want this to be in the root namespace, and I want this to be a static class. And we'll just have one method inside of here, a public static method that returns void, and we'll call it register bundles. This will receive the global bundle collection from whoever calls it. We'll call that bundles. And bundle collection is a special type that is defined in system.web.optimization. So I'll just bring that namespace into play. And now I can start configuring bundles. So let's add a new bundle. This will be a new style bundle. The virtual path that I want to reach this bundle, let's call it bundles/CSS. And I want it to include from the content folder bootstrap.css. And I want it to also include from the content folder my style sheet, which is styles.css. And that would be everything that we need to build a complete bundle. Now the question is, where do we call register bundles from? Of course, that has to happen during application startup. So I will switch over to the global.asax.cs file. And inside of here, we can say bundle config. Please register bundles, and I will pass in the global bundle table dot bundles property. That's the bundle collection. And bundle table, that also lives in the system.web.optimization namespace. So we'll bring that in. I'll do a quick build just to make sure everything works, and it does. So before we actually start using that bundle, let's go ahead and finish our bundle configuration. The other piece that I have in the layout view is a link to the Modernizer library. I want to create a bundle for that. And you might wonder, why create a bundle for a single file? There's nothing to combine together. Well, bundling also does minification, and I want to minify this file. We'll see what that does in just a bit. So I'll come into bundle config and say, please give me a new script bundle that I can reach by going to /bundles/modernizer and include this JS script. And this is one way to do it, being very explicit about what file I want. But I could also take the version number out of here and just say, give me Modernizer, and pick up any Modernizer file that you find in there. Because at some point, I'll probably come into my NuGet packages, and I'll find that there are all sorts of updates available. And there might be an update for Modernizer that bumps the version number from .3 to .4, and just by including --, I'll be able to pick up all those updates when I drop them into the scripts folder. I don't have to worry about changing my C# code every time I update a script file. And so in the layout view, I also have this collection of files here at the bottom: jQuery, jQuery validation, Mustache, Bootstrap. So let me go into bundle config and also register something for bundle/JS that includes everything jQuery, also Mustache and Bootstrap. So what I have here is basically telling the runtime, include everything that starts with jQuery. And that should pick up the jQuery library, jQuery UI, jQuery unobtrusive AJAX, jQuery validation. And for the most part, the runtime is fairly smart about ordering files. It knows that jQuery is going to have to come before something like jQuery UI that has a dependency on jQuery, but it's not always perfect. So sometimes you might need to explicitly spell these files out and say, I need jQuery-1 star and then jQuery-UI star, to make sure you have an explicit ordering in here. But the way these files are named, it just so happens that the alphabetical ordering will work out well. So just saying jQuery star, include everything jQuery, should work out and should give me that bundle. We have all our bundles configured. We have them registered during application startup. The next part would be to start using these bundles in the layout view to decrease the page load time.